When I see this is a crazy lifestyle, I have to reconnect myself to another because I was already in the system. I had my papers. I have to look for another school. I went there at a teachers college this time, and I got the employment. And I started working there. One thing leads to the other. One thing leads to the other. Nigeria now begin to troop into China in their thousands because then it was relatively easy. Nigeria in the early 2000s. Nigeria now begin to troop into China, man, with committing all unimaginable kinds of crimes. My school walked up to me one day. This is a school that they so much love girls. Apart from the school, your regular teaching, the school get you extra jobs. And I say, man, there's a big problem. There was a problem. They went to the map of the world on the wall and say, this place, that was Nigeria map. See, this place, bush, no, no, no. See, our government, this place, no, no. So I'm sorry, at the end of your contract, you have to go. Man, that was how it started. So they could not renew the papers. They could not renew the visa and all that. We pleaded and pleaded. It was by then Nigeria was robbing the people, stealing, going to factories, they take samples. Chinese were so trusting. They would give them container load of goods for them to go to Africa. Nigerians will go and disappear, robbing, raping the women. Oh no, it was a sad story. So this my Chinese friend said, man, I'm sorry. The government has taken a decision. You all have to leave. So that was my second challenge. So then I moved. I left the school to now. These are government schools. So I moved to a private school down south where they don't have all that wherewithal to employ foreign teachers. So from there, problem started. So now I sent someone. Someone linked me up to another set. There's a city called Guangzhou in China. I never know the city, so I sent my passport out for a long time for them to help me to put the visa back. Passport got missing for months. Police came, but because they're already used to us, so they were all friendly. So they were not harsh like they used to do to others. So okay, you know what? Just go and look for this passport and get yourself a place. You can't stay here. My brother, that was how I came to the city of Nigeria in China. It's called Guangzhou in southern China. That is when I came there.
Not Nigeria in China.
Oh, it's a city of Nigeria. They speak Nigerian. Nigeria has how do I say? There's a kind of acculturation of Chinese Nigerian that's taking place in that city. So that was where I came to, and I said, no, 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 I can't. This is not me. I'd rather go back home than for me to be in this environment. And with all that education, am I going forward or going backward? There is this wrong concept our, our people has about money. Yes, money answered all calls, but money is not everything. Okay, money is not everything. So they have this concept: the money is everything. So they do all sort of things for money. They want to own the money. I said, okay, if it's to get the money so that I'll be respected, I don't want this kind of respect. You have to do crack. You have to do shit business. You have to steal. You have to do all that. Then only few were into trade. Even those few, I'm not a trader. I was never brought up in trading. So I mean, I just can't fit in. I'm sorry. I have to leave. I was too shocked. So that was how along the line, I just said, okay, let me just try my hand one more time. I key back online. I got another, this time private school. You cannot work with big schools anymore because you don't have all the documents. So another private school somewhere near Beijing invited me over and I went there. By now, I was already discouraged. I was already disillusioned. I was already disconnected from everything. Then I have written a book while I was in one of the school, a book on politics and Nigerian, African, and all that. So the book was online, 1847, where I was. So then, with all that experience, now I was already disillusioned. So I stayed in that school for like a term or two. I just left. I was just pissed off. That was how I arrived to the city of Beijing in 2008, right? Yeah, 2008. And in 2008, I met a friend who also encouraged me, hey man, just get another lifestyle, leave this, it's not helpful. So that was how I started. I want to learn. His name is Ayo. So I wanted to learn under him. He's also from Edo State. He was a good friend of mine way back in Nigeria. So now, in the process of learning from him, in just first 2 weeks, I arrived in his place. He had a problem with the police, and he was picked up and deported. So I stayed back to square one, but now with an apartment. I stay in his apartment. He has a nice apartment. So I live there. From there, one thing leads to the other, one thing leads to the other, one thing leads to the other. So, with the creativity I've had in me and the skill, I was able to find myself back on foot in Beijing. And that was how this idea of the media came back. I started as a photographer, from photography to the media. And before you know it, 2009, I launched Lens Afrique. That is Lens Afrique magazine.
Yeah,
See,
I'm here.
there's a copy of Lens. There's a copy of Lens Afrique magazine.
That's interesting.
Yeah, see that? It was in Chinese. This was one of the latest edition before I came by as for Kagame. No, this is a copy, another copy. Okay, okay, here's another copy. This is Lens Afrique magazine. It's an African. It's a Sierra Leonean lady. It's a cultural icon. Can you see that?
Yeah, I can see it.
All right. So 2009, this I just show you now was launched out of nothing. How was it launched? How was it launched? I can tell you, it was a very interesting story. How this magazine was launched, right?
Yeah,
You
yeah, yeah.
want
I'm listening. I'm
like
listening.
okay.
Mhm.
When I came to Beijing, it was the same story of crime, criminals, drug pushers, thieves. Let me use that word, thieves. You say you're a Nigerian, you are a thief. Oh man, it was so shameful, very shameful, you know, very shameful. And the painful is this Nigerian, they pride in these negative tags. They pride in these negative tags. Oh God, it was so shameful. So I sat down. I This time around, I begin to make effort to detach from them, to completely disconnect from them, and align with other Africans that came here to look for a better life. Some of them as students, some of them as expatriates working in blue chip companies, and the diplomat also. So I aligned with this set. So I disconnected from this Nigerian community. Okay. So it was my relationship with these some of African, Cameroonian diplomats from East African countries, Kenya, and name them. A lot of Malawi, and then all that. It was my relationship with them that helped. It helped me a lot. So I was able to walk away from that negative tag of Nigerians. So some see me now as from Congo, some from Kenya, some from South Africa, some even as close as Ghana. They say, oh, this one, I don't think he's Nigerian. His character, his language, a lot of things about him is different. So it was under that canopy, under that safety, I was able to work towards building Lens Afrique magazine. See that? That was how I came. I sat down. I focused. And before that, I borrowed a camera from a friend, small camera. When I go to events, I take photos of, I go to clubs, I go, like kind of paparazzi. And after I show people these photos, some pay for it, some don't pay for it. Yeah, I was getting some little earnings. Then from there, I begin to attend corporate events like embassy event. I join photographers with my little camera. I take the ambassadors, those diplomats. Sometimes I go and frame this photo. I look out for them. I give some of them are very excited. You know, they give you little money. You're able to do something with it. Okay, so with this idea, Lens Africa, the idea of putting these photos together and make a little story about that country, that individual came into place. Now I need money to make Lens Africa happen in print. So there was another known African from Sierra Leone named Toure. A Cameroonian took me to him. A Cameroonian or someone, another country took me to him, introduced me. He said, yeah, we've been seeing this guy in a couple of places. I never know he's a Nigerian. Oh, he's a blah, blah. Cut the long story short, Toure put the bill for the first print of 20, 20 pages. 20 pages. It used to be, I couldn't get it for you. I would have shown you. You see the first print, 20 pages smaller than this. Okay. That was how this magazine started.